Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Avengers issue 49. And I enjoyed this issue, but there's a lot of stuff in it that just kind of got a little bit silly. Alright? Uh, it... It's funny, I can enjoy it, but I'm just like, the fuck? Well, we see that somebody is narrating, pretty much understanding the whole kind of situation that has been going on with Atlantis and how the Russia and the Winter Guard are pretty much trying to use it to their tactical advantage. While this is going on, we see that Namor is dealing with all these people that want to pretty much depose him. People, Defenders of the Deep, all kinds of things. Like, yeah, fuck you people. You don't know what it's like to be king. You don't know what you have to do. Saying that he's got to do this war, but that people think he's too fucking soft for it. Sure. I mean, he's been doing some pretty fucked up shit, so it's like, what? So having these other kind of elements in Atlantis pretty much being like politically fucking insane, and he's just like, you know what? We can either do it one at a time or in heaps. I don't give a fuck. Because they're bringing up, oh, you do this. Oh, the Phoenix would save us with that, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, alright. So while this is going on, we see it's pretty much laid out. Russia's pretty much entire plan. Break She-Hulk. Pretty much use her as the patsy. Take down Atlantis with it. Pretty much annihilating the whole population with a gamma bomb. And then you'd essentially have Russia having more of a control over the sea. You'd have the Avengers with egg on their face. It would stir up more anti-Avengers sentiments in the U.S. and making it even harder for them to kind of like work abroad. And of course, everybody would go after a Hulk because a lot of people like to use Hulks as patties, even though Hulks have done some pretty awesome shit to like save the world, and also some fucked up shit. But like, it's not all negative. So we see that Jen is then doing her shit, pretty much going in, doing the whole kind of tactic of making it look like she's there to assassinate Namor, while Red Widow is leading her team with the Gamma Bomb pretty much to Atlantis, dealing with Gorilla Man doing his shit. She's like, I'll fucking kill you. And he kind of gets fucked up a little bit and then kind of floats, and that's about all we hear from him. It's like, alright, fine. But then we see that the thing is getting to its end scenario, and we see that She-Hulk like rips off her thing, tells Namor to evacuate his people, calls for the Avengers to assemble, and then one of the dumb things happens is that we get an underwater thunderstorm. Now, granted, I think it's kind of cool that Thor's doing it, but you kind of have to explain why it would be possible, because the people of Atlantis are like, what the fuck is that? That's thunder. I need some better kind of context and some better kind of just any kind of explanation of why this would be possible and not kill Atlantis itself. I'm like, what? Because the people, the person that's narrating it, we kind of learned is T'Challa, is putting it under an act of God. Water conducts electricity. And it would spread it, and it could severely harm and pretty much kill people with what's going on. So, even though it's cool to hear something about an underwater thunderstorm, you have to explain why it's possible and why it wouldn't kill everybody, except those that it really wouldn't kill. Like a Hulk, it'd kind of fuck him up a little bit, sure. Ghost Rider would be like, yeah, I'm kind of fucked up. And Thor would be like, yeah, but it should have taken out Red Widow, the Russian strike team she's got, could have potentially set off the Gamma Bomb as well. It's really kind of weird. It's like, okay, alright. But we see that he's pretty much trying to, like, quell everything, which I would think just fucking a hammer god rolling around being like, don't do your shit. And there's other powers that they probably could have had Thor do for Thor to use to effective crowd control. I mean, he's the fucking Allfather at this point. Sure, he might be the god of thunder and lightning and all that, but that should give him other kind of powers that he's able to kind of use. I mean, shit, he could have used the Bifrost, he could have used Sith to help out, any kind of other kind of like All-Father powers to do it, other than the thing that like makes problems. It's like, right? we also then see that Ghost Rider pops up to pretty much check in and take out like other unruly elements and pretty much lead the way for like Jen to get to the Red Widow. And this is when we start learning that this is the other kind of stupid thing. I don't mind certain twists, but it's like, oh, guess what? This has been going to Jen and T'Challa's plan all along. And I don't mind that. And I like the smarts of it because they're thinking, okay, they're going to use She-Hulk as the patsy anyway, so let's just let her get captured and fuck around with this shit. Where T'Challa's like, doing this is pretty bad, and you've gone through a lot of shit. Are you sure you're not going to break? And she's like, don't try and out-lawyer me. I can fucking take this. I'm like, I get She-Hulk being confident on certain things, but this, well, like, everything that she went through with the Katati, Thanos, all that kind of shit, it is, T'Challa being a smart, reasonable, logical person to be like, this sounds like a bad fucking idea. And we don't know how it kind of like shakes out. We'll kind of see that after this issue. But I'm like, yes, T'Challa, I'm with you. What the fuck? Anybody else on the team, like Steve would be like, that ain't kind of cool. Tony would be like, what? Come on. There's probably a Hulkbuster or something I could probably fucking use or whatnot. Come on, man. Or some other kind of thing. Carol would be probably like, what? No. Star Baby would be like, fucking what are you doing? Yeah. Okay. Star Baby would need to learn fucking what to even go that route, but it would be kind of hilarious. Phoenix, Echo would be like, you're kind of fucking with me, but I mean, I can do some shit. You know, there's like a lot of other kind of ways that this could have went before doing this. I understand it's to do the misdirect of like, oh, She-Hulk is bad and everything. It's just there needed to be more work to kind of make this reveal work for me. It's not inherently bad in and of itself. It's the execution of how it works out. Because she's pretty much going after Red Widow. And she pretty much stabs her a couple times and is like, fuck this shit. And then says that she loves her handler or whatever, who we still don't know. And then injects herself with Hulk blood and immediately hulks out. So we've got the Red Widow Hulk. This was another kind of dumb thing to me. If all it takes is to essentially just inject yourself with Hulk blood, you just have to have a strong enough thing to make a Hulk bleed, and then scoop that shit up and like turn yourself into a Hulk. Now, granted, there could be kind of ways that the Russian intelligence agency was able to do that kind of stuff, but Blade had to fuck up the vampires because they had Hulk blood, and I just needed a little bit more info on, yeah, they had to do something special in order to allow this Hulk blood to turn her into a Hulk. It just seemed inordinately easy to essentially create their own Hulk thing going on with this, and I'm just like, alright. And then we don't even really get like a really big kind of thunderous battle. We see that she's kind of turned into a Hulk and then goes, whoa, but then Jen's like, eat my bot, bitch, boom, and then like fucking racks her. T'Challa, of course, was like, alright, I'm gonna trust you on this, but can you handle this? As we then see that She-Hulk was laughing, is like looking around, and then goes to the gamma bomb as it glows green, seeming to look like that it's about to explode, and that's where the issue ends. So overall, I liked seeing some of this stuff going on, but I got more confused on the execution of things going on. Mainly, an underwater thunderstorm. The whole reveal of it being like an Ocean's kind of twist, which, mind you, I don't mind. Ocean's kind of twist. Okay, cool. But in like the Ocean's movies, it's more well executed. Here, I'm just like, okay, it felt like just a certain flip was like, yeah, you thought this? Ta-da! It just needed a little something more for me. And then Red Widow being able to turn into a Hulk that easily just confused me, because usually it takes more kind of shit for someone to become a Hulk. And I'm just like, alright. And it was kind of confusing that she would go that route, because you're then sacrificing most of your training being more of like tactical lethality to brute strength. And I guess if you're doing it as a last ditch resort to let your mission go through, that makes a little bit more sense. But it needed a little bit more finessing and work. And Gorilla Man's just fucking floating around, fucking dying, I guess, which I thought would pop up that if he actually did die, it would turn her into the gorilla person. Well, gorilla woman at that point. And that would be kind of weird of a hulked out gorilla widow person. But I don't know. We'll just have to see how that kind of works out. I kind of want to see where this ends and then shifts about like where this is going to go for the next kind of storyline. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.